All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are live, 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 live. And as you know, shout out to the Most High, the Most High, the Most High. Shout out to Most High. I hope you guys are doing well this morning. It's about 11 o'clock today. Is it 11? It's 11. What time is it? Okay, 10:54. My screen is broken. So if you see me do like this and look over here, it's because I'm looking at a screen over here. All right, I'm gonna try to line it up a little bit, but that's my keyboard in the back right there. So I do some music and shit. So yeah, guys, we're gonna talk some boxing. A lot of stuff popped off last night. A lot of stuff popped off Friday night. So we're gonna talk about the boxing, the results, and you guys can join the discussion. Remember, you can leave your comments in the comment section right across there, right across here, right across here is where you can leave your comments in the comment section. We're gonna get it popping. We're gonna get it popping. I know you guys want to talk some boxing, so let's get to it. Invite your friends, man. Come through, man. Shout out to the Beeb and Ringside Reporter. Shout out to the Boxing Voice. Awesome feedback. Love the little the tournament that they're having, Border Wars. You know, that shit looked good. It's nice to see guys boxing, because when you're boxing, then you actually understand and appreciate the sport a lot more. I'm going to get into some boxing too. I'm starting to do back my squats and stuff. I just checked myself on the scale. I'm about 170 pounds. I'm 5'11", 6 feet tall. So I should be a super welterweight. That's my division. 154 is really where I would need to be, which means I need to be about 164 pounds. I actually, when I was taking care of my mom, I was around 162, 160. So I put on some weight. I hadn't gone out and work or anything. So I'm really at 160. I should be walking around 162, 163, and fighting at 154. That's my weight class. So anyway, yeah, we're gonna talk a little bit about boxing, man. We're gonna talk about the fights that happened. Of course, the hot one, the controversial one, according to some people, according to Boom Boom Mancini, Ray Mancini, who is the Porter versus Ugas fight. I thought it was straightforward, but I want to hear your opinion on it. And hold on a second. So let me just see what's going on with you guys here. First of all, I'll be watching to my side over here, because remember, my screen's over here. But my laptop screen got busted. So, you know, I have one of these, right? But the problem with it is when you log in on WhatsApp, you got to stay in the email address and the Google, the Google identity. I don't know how to say it. So that's why I haven't used it on this. I'll be all over the place just talking boxing, but it is what it is. All right, so let's get into it, man. So guys, I'm streaming right now, and we're gonna talk some of the fights. Man. I wish I could see this clear on this screen, but it's not showing clear, so it is what it is. So shout out to you guys. Let's talk some boxing. So first of all, on Friday, I watched two of the fights that happened Friday. I watched Anthony Yarde versus Travis Reeves, and I also watched Daniel Dubois, because everybody's talking about Daniel Dubois, the next heavyweight coming up, against Razvan Kojanu. All right. I was not impressed with Daniel Dubois, to be honest with you. Shout out to Pound for Pound Boxing Report with Michael. Michael was talking about Daniel Dubois and was talking pretty highly about him. You can also look at the last episode of Pound for Pound Boxing Report, which comes out on YouTube. It should be out already, and you can just check in my subscriptions. You can find it, and then you can just look at the last episode that happened. They touted this guy highly. I really am not impressed by him, but a lot of other people are impressed by him. I thought that he could have gotten that guy out of there, first of all, sooner. He was forcing the action. The second thing about it is, when I look at Daniel Dubois, I'm not impressed with just how he looks as a boxer. And again, that's just me. He looked like, he don't look. Maybe he has remarkable skills. Maybe he has remarkable ability. I just didn't see it in that fight. So I wasn't impressed by him. His lever-like movements are they're just not impressive to me, okay? But having said that, I saw another heavyweight over the weekend and that heavyweights that was Saturday, I believe it was, under the card of Porter versus Ugas. Efe Ajaba, or what was it? Was it? Is it Ajagba? Whatever it is, man. This dude, man. This dude, he got radar vision, man. He just, he don't miss, man. He throws a shot straight. He throws straight shots. He don't really hook on loopy. He got a straight shot. He got a straight jab, and he got the straight shots, real straight. But I mean, Amir Mansour wasn't moving his head, to be honest with you. It was like a pinata. I was actually laughing as I watched the fight transpire. Now, Ajaba, he's very accurate. He's not necessarily the most powerful, but he's very accurate, and his timing is really on point. And I mean, Amir Mansour just could not move his head. And Amir Mansour's a southpaw. It didn't really matter. His head was like a pinata. It was like, hit the pinata. So, of course, he didn't get the knockout stoppage or the knockdown or stopping him. He didn't get it that way. Mansour was advised to retire because he's taking too much head trauma, but he did knock him down twice. All right. So I saw that fight. So I was very impressed with Efe Ajagba because I'll tell you what, because quite frankly, his accuracy was so good. But then again, it's against an older Asian fighter, just like with Jamal Charlo when he faced Cornelius Bundridge. As an older dude, so you really can't really assess that correctly. I mean, Joe Smith Jr. looked great against Bernard Hopkins as well. You can't really make that assessment because when you look at how Joe Smith Jr. performed against Dimitri Bivol, could we even give him a round? You know what I'm saying? Right? And Bivol almost stopped him coming down to the end. So once again, it's just you look at these fights, the fighter looks good, but it doesn't necessarily mean much, But I like that. And then again, Amir Mansour wasn't moving his head. He wasn't moving his head. He just the dude doesn't move his head, so he gets tagged up like crazy. So anyway, let me talk about Friday fights first, right? Anthony Yarde versus Travis Reese. I thought he could have gotten Travis Reese out of there again sooner. Yarde should have figured out by around how long did this fight go? It went a couple rounds, right? He should have figured out that this guy was no threat to him at all. I mean, Yarde was much bigger, much stronger, but he kept on trying to just stand his ground and box the dude, but not box him really. Just kind of stay there. He's just standing in front of him, not doing nothing, waiting for the guy to do something so he could counter him. And I thought, dude, you bigger than this dude. You should be going at this dude and getting him out the ring. He doesn't belong in the ring with you. You should have got him out the ring sooner. Now, easier said than done because remember, you have to be careful. Even Dimitri Bivol, I thought he kind of let Joe Smith Jr. off the gas a bit. Bivol could have done more. I mean, I would say this. The theme for the entire weekend is the guys who were dominant could have done more. But I think they were playing it safe. I think they were trying to be more circumspect and cautious and just box the dudes. And I remember Bivol making a statement saying that he was going to fight Joe Smith Jr. more intelligently. And to be fair to Bivol, he is a small, light heavyweight, right? He's small. So, Dimitri Bivol, it would have been terrible if Joe Smith Jr. could have used his strength and his size against Bivol. Bivol never allowed him to do that. He took away that from the get-go, right? With how he counterpunched and his skill set. Even though Joe Smith Jr. was the first guy to throw the punch in round one, Bivol, when he started countering Smith, it was crazy, man. It was crazy. And Bivol, Bivol's on the next level, I think, to most of the guys in his particular WBC weight class. I think it would be interesting to see Bivol versus Badou Jack. It really would, because Badou Jack's got that grit and determination. Marcos Brown versus Bivol would be a great matchup as well. And I don't know how the division stacked up in the WBA, but those would be great matchups, right? But as to Joe Smith Jr., he was just way too freaking slow. Too many arm punches. He was trying to do defense, and Bivol was just cutting through his defense. He was trying to do the shell. It didn't mean nothing because Bivol would left hook him. Do I think that Bevo could have pushed a little bit more and gotten Joe Smith Jr. out of there? Yes, I thought so. But he put he let his foot off the gas. Played it safe. He got caught with a wild looping right hand at the end. I think it was round 9. But anyway, let's get. I'm all over the place. I want to start with Friday, like I said. Talk about those Friday and see what you guys are doing. Hey, if you guys are here, man, leave your comments in the comment section, man. Because I want to have a rapport with you guys. Even if you want to hop on, this, if you want to hop on this chat here in the stream with me and talk with me, that's also cool. I'm down for it. You know what I'm saying? Because we're talking boxing. I'm gonna stop talking boxing very soon. Don't worry. This stream's not gonna last that long. I just want to get through everything. So yeah. So quite frankly, to be honest with you, I thought that Bevo he was good. He was good, but I thought again he could have done a little bit more. Same thing with Sean Porter. I thought Sean Porter pretty much won every round of the fight against Ugas. Ugas came ready though, and I thought Ugas was the stronger fighter. I thought when he landed punches, they were with a lot more oomph in them. But he was way freaking slower than Porter, man. He was just super slow and lumbering. And I thought Porter did a lot more things. He'd come in with the shotgun jab, catch him with the shotgun jab, land 1 or 2 body shots. Ugas would hit him with a liver punch. That was basically most of what Ugas hit him with. I thought Porter stunned Ugas a little bit, knocked him back, but never really followed through on it because Porter tends to throw a lot of flurries instead of just kind of pause, sometimes just feint something and then come in with another shot. He does a lot of stuff, but he moves quickly, but again, not necessarily with timing and effectiveness. So Porter was a little scrappy on the inside. He didn't spend a lot of time on the inside. Ugas actually landed more body shots when you look at punch stats, but anyway, we're going all over the place. Let's start getting this organized. So first of all, Anthony Yarde versus Travis Reeves. Like I said, Anthony Yarde much bigger than Travis Reeves, clearly much more stronger than him. Could have gotten him out of there because Travis Reeves was just standing in front of him waiting to get hit. Like the dude behaved like a sparring partner. He was just waiting to get clubbered, right? So Yarde, I think, spent a little too long getting Travis Reeves out of there. You're supposed to get him out of there. I don't know what people thought. They were like, Reeves is going to be a great competition for that dude. Should have sized him out by the end of the first round. Into the second round, Yarde should have known what it is. This guy don't belong in the ring with me, and he should have taken him out, quite frankly. All right? Because you should be able to make quick assessments. I don't know why he took so long, but he took a long time to do that. Daniel Dubois, he just couldn't get his combinations together because he was forcing the action. But I don't like his lever movement, how he punches. He punches with some pop, but just the way how he punches from the hip really does not impress me. I can see him getting counted over the top and stopped, right? And he doesn't look, to be honest with you, Daniel Dubois doesn't look like a guy who could take a punch. I'm yet to see him really take a punch. So I think once you clip him on the chin, I think he's going down. He looks like one of those guys. But just his neck, he looked built up, but his neck looks like, you can snap that neck back, man. So just the way how he's built tells me, he's not ready for this level. But, we'll fancy his chances. He's a big, tall, lumbering guy, height and size. He got, I can't really even say about his boxing ability. A lot of people told him very heavily, but I was not impressed with his boxing ability either. So I'm not quite sure what to make of this guy from the fight that I just saw. I'm not impressed with him much at all. But those are the 2 fights I saw. There were some other marquee fights the night. Liam Williams, he had his win over Joe Molinder for the British Boxing Board of Control title, the middleweight title. So Liam Williams, kudos to him. He won his fight. Other than that, I didn't really see it, so I can't tell you exactly what happened in that fight. I didn't watch it. Those of you who did watch it, leave your comments in the comment section, man, so I can know what's up. Jackson the Hopeful, man. What's up, my brother? Jackson the Hopeful says, my card says Porter won 8-4. I saw him mostly get the better of him in the back and forths, and he countered pretty well. Yep. Which is why he landed more punches. Yep, pretty much. Yep. The jab to the head was working all night. Shotgun jab to the head. Whenever Porter came inside, and Porter said he was really looking to box him. The thing with Porter that really pisses me off though is he moves all the way around the fucking ring, right? Excuse my French for a minute. And then he stands directly in front of the guy. And I'm asking myself, so why did you move all the way around the fucking ring? You're skipping around the ring and all that bullshit. And then you go and stand up directly in front of the guy. If you're going to move and pivot around the ring, especially if you're pivoting, he's not pivoting, he's juggling and all that shit. If you're going to move around the ring, Sean Porter, then it's for you to get an angle of approach just before the other guy comes in so you can hit him. And I just don't see that. He stops, he plants, and then he stands in front of the dude waiting to counter the guy. It pisses me off. If you're going to move around the ring, folks, if you're going to move around the ring, okay, let me just adjust this. All right, can you guys see me now? See me better? Hopefully this adjustment helps. Yeah, if you're going to move around the ring, man, if you're going to move around the ring, okay, please let it be to your advantage, not just defensively. You're not just moving around the ring to kind of give the guy another look. You're moving so that you can actually get an opportunity to pop that jab on the guy at an angle as he's trying to catch up to you. Porter was circling to Ugas's left, right? Ugas is not a southpaw. Sorry, Ugas is right, sorry. So he was circling to Ugas's power hand. All right, cool. If you're circling to his power hand, right, then it means he's got to turn with you. He's pivoting with you. Now, he's going to try and cut off the ring. So while you're circling, I wish I could show this shit. So let's say this is Porter here. Let's say this is Ugas here, right? This is the ring here, okay? I don't know if this is making any sense to anybody, but I got to try anyway. So here's Porter. He's walking around the ring, and Ugas is trapping him this way, right? Ugas is moving sideways with him, anticipating the turn, right? So I know you guys ain't even understand what the hell I'm saying, but I can see it spatially. So Ugas is tracking. Ugas is not pivoting with him. Ugas is like sliding alongside him, anticipating him coming to the corner of the ring. All right. So Porter, if you start making this move, the other guy has to track you, okay? So when you do this, the guy's going to pivot a little bit, but he's going to track you. So here's the thing, and none of this you guys can see, so it pisses me off. If you were having a shit. Maybe. Hold on a second. I'm going to try and get this on my phone. Okay. I'm trying to track this on my phone so you guys can see what I'm talking about. It's going to make more sense when you see it on the phone. Hold on a second. Jackson the Hopeful, man. Shout out to you. Where's the other people, man? Where you guys, man? I know you guys are there. I saw you guys on Beep's channel and stuff. All right, let me show you. Let me show you guys what I'm talking about. I'm trying to find the fight. You know, I want to come out of this. Yeah, so what's happening is I'm gonna play for you guys to see. Something like that. So there's a place you can go to see really good fights. It's called All the Best Fights. You should check that out. They got MMA, they got everything. I'm getting the Porter versus I'm getting the Porter versus Ugas fight. I'm not gonna lie though. Uh, I thought that the I thought that the I thought that the Maurice Hooker fight was boring as hell though. I'm gonna lie to you. I'm gonna kill the sound. I'm gonna kill the sound on this. All right. Okay. All right. So I get full screen. Come on, bitch. Give me full screen. Wonderful. So here, if you look at this, oh, turn up the sound, you stupid head. All right, this is Porter just doing some work on the inside, right? I want to show you something else. This shit is not what I want to show you. Oh, I said, I don't get it. All right. All right, cool. They got right. So I'm gonna be able to show you an example of this now. Great, 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 great. All right, so I'm sure you guys can see this. All right, I can't see it, but you guys can see it. See, he's just standing in front of Ugas, man. He's just standing in front of Ugas. You know what I'm saying? That shit is stupid. You want to move all the way around the ring and then stand in front of the dude. Just now, I'll show you. I'll show you a little bit more. All right, hold on a sec. So he just standing in front of him, jousting, and then he'll come in. He'll come in afterwards. Jackson the Hopeful says Uga must have hurt Porter because of how much Porter was moving. He threw a lot of body shots, mainly to the liver. Could have possibly had Porter hurting, kind of a theory. So, yeah, I'm sure he hurt him with the liver shot, and Porter probably said, you know what. But I think their game plan was to box from the outside. And since Ugas wasn't chasing Porter down, he was just looking to counter him. You know, it didn't work to his advantage. This all here in round one, Porter's just doing, he's not excessively moving. I want to try and find a place where he was actually excessively moving. And I didn't understand the point of that. Was he buying himself time or something? I don't understand. This is round three. Porter, I never seen Porter clinch so much. It was mostly boxing. He was boxing himself. It's all good. All right, here we are. I'm going to show you this. This is it right here. So he was just taking a breather. I think it was mostly a breather he was trying to do. Caught him with a nice spleen shot, Ugas. I think Porter was just trying to take a break, I think. Let's see if I can find it. All right, here we are. I can't see what's going on, but I think Porter will take a jug somewhere. But he basically stood in front of Ugas most of the time. He was just standing in front of Ugas most of the time. See, he's boxing him. He's standing right in front of him most of the time and just waiting to counter him or to catch him at an odd timing. And he's just directly in front of him. I'm like, why are you doing that? Why don't you pivot out? Check hook him or pivot out. All right, somewhere here you're going to see him move around right here. He's just moving around, moving around, moving around, accomplishing absolutely nothing. Ugas taps him to the body right there. Accomplishing absolutely nothing by moving around like that. And he did it really quite excessively in the later rounds too. This is nothing compared to what he was doing. I didn't understand that point. Now, Ugas is a good body puncher, right? So that may be the reason. Trying to find what round is this? It's round 5, the next round. See, all here he's boxing him. There's nothing wrong with that. He's just backing up, though. He's going straight back. I didn't understand that part. All here he's just staying on the outside. Staying on the outside. Circling him. And they like to bounce. I don't know what's up with the bouncing, man. You know, why are you bouncing so much? I never quite understood that part. Porter has speed, so he should be able to pivot or go underneath the body. Exactly. You land a shot and you roll under the guy's hook or you roll under the guy's jab or something. You know, I don't understand. His time is a little bit off. Porter, he tried to do everything with speed and not with timing. So he doesn't have the perfect timing to really land the shots he really wants to. All right, so Ugas was protecting his body pretty good, though. You see that there. See the nice sharp jab right there? Nice overhand right by Porter. Good body shot by Ugas. Porter completely missed the shot right there. See, he rushes everything. Porter rushes everything so much he can't get his shots in so properly. Damn, my video now is looking messed up. What the hell? My feed is looking messed up. Still can't find what I'm looking for, though. You only saw a little semblance of it. He wasn't just standing in front of Ugas most of the time. Ugas was definitely the physically stronger of the two, though. What the hell is wrong with my feed? My feed is now blurred out. What the heck? And YouTube is crappy. Oh, yeah. This is it here. This is it here. Watch this. Watch this. All right, so Porter's fighting on the inside there. That was really good. Watch Porter excessively move now. He goes around him. Ugas is the bigger, stronger guy. Kind of like what happened with Kell Brook. Kell Brook was the bigger, stronger guy. All right, hold on a sec. You can't see this shit, but look how he's moving. He's just moving. Ugas drops his hands like, well, dude, you're not going to engage me, right? Porter just moving around the ring, buying time. Why? Why are you doing that? Because to me, it's stupid to just walk around the ring if you're not going to try and find an angle of attack and then attack. You know what I mean? I never quite got that part. But anyway, that's the thing I was talking about, where that's your opportunity to sort of strike the guy, and you do nothing. I just didn't quite get that. So anyway, that's the thing with Porter versus your Dennis. Anyway, I was where was I? So yeah, those were the fights. The Friday night fights to me were the guys could have done more. Anthony Yarde could have gotten Travis Reese out of there much quicker, and Daniel Dubois could have gotten rid of Razvan Kojanu a lot faster. I think he forced the action in that fight. That's what happened, and he tried to press too much, but he didn't impress me. Right now, Saturday. Let me start off with talking to you guys about the DAZN card. I believe it was DAZN. And I'll start off with Maurice Hooker versus Mikael Lespierre. Mikael Lespierre actually had a decent account of himself. He wasn't, in my opinion, he wasn't a big threat to Maurice Hooker, but he was solid enough and good enough to give him some work, right? So he gave Maurice Hooker some work, especially when he started going to Maurice Hooker's body. And he came with an overhand shot that hit Maurice Hooker in the head. It got Maurice Hooker's attention. For the most part, Maurice Hooker won almost every round. But again, Lespierre, durable. He got dropped in the later rounds, I believe it was, by Hooker. But other than that, he was solid. Hooker couldn't really throw the combinations and land on him. He had good defense and stuff. So kudos to Les Pierre, man, a fellow Trinidadian like myself, and for stepping it up to the highest level. He did okay. He did all right. Maurice Hooker going to have to go back to the drawing board a little bit and stop being so excited to try and crash a fighter. What you got to do is if certain punches are not succeeding, you got to use feints. And I was trying to explain to a lot of people, these younger fighters don't use feints. Feints can get your opponent out of position, and then you can capitalize on it. And he wasn't really doing that too much. I mean, they were feinting each other and stuff, but he wasn't really doing effective feints. So it is what it is. But he was landing that straight right on Les Pierre a couple times. So kudos to him on that. You know what I mean? What did you think, Jackson the Hopeful? Did you see Maurice Hooker versus Les Pierre? What you thought about that? Mikhail Les Pierre. I thought Mikhail Les Pierre had a good account of himself, honestly. So that was that fight. When it comes to Dimitri Bivol versus Joe Smith Jr., enjoyed that fight. I enjoyed the heck of that fight. Dimitri Bivol is a guy who not only can counterpunch, but he looks for the opportunities and the openings. And he had Joe Smith Jr. troubled a number of times in the fight. My prediction on Pound for Pound Boxing Report was that he was going to stop Joe Smith Jr., get him out of there. But actually, in all of my predictions for all of the major fights, none of the guys actually got the other guys out of there. So the contenders, they were solid, they were strong. Joe Smith Jr. was a strong guy. Dimitri Bivol, in finishing off the fight, he threw a whole bunch of flurries that landed on Joe Smith Jr., had him back down into the corner. But it was, time had run out on Bivol. But Bivol had Joe Smith Jr. hurt multiple times in the fight. There were times when Joe Smith Jr. it seemed as though he was going to go down, and then he just got back up. He bowed out, and it was about he caught him with a leaping left hook, boom. And Joe Smith Jr. doubled up. He doubled up on the left hook, and Joe Smith Jr. looked like he was about to go. But he held on. So I would say that, and Bivol backed up Joe Smith Jr. when he wanted to. He did whatever he wanted to in that fight. He was very focused. And for a guy that small to be manhandling strong, bigger opponents, I remember the guys on Pound for Pound Boxing Report, I think Jacobs and the other two people. It was just me and Michael who believed that Bivol would stop Joe Smith Jr. But Joe Smith Jr., he proved to be a durable guy, proved to be strong. So Bivol didn't get that stoppage, but it is what it is. But I think the rest of the people, they didn't see how good Bivol really is. And I thought I knew he was going to outclass Joe Smith Jr. I just didn't know to what extent, I thought he was going to crash him and just destroy him, just like what he did with Sullivan Barrera. And again, Bivol didn't really put the exclamation on the stick. He could have probably done it somewhere around the 7th, 8th round. He could have got Joe Smith Jr. out of there by then. But he didn't, for some reason, he didn't do that. Whatever he was seeing in the ring, or felt the strength of Joe Smith Jr., whatever it was, he decided to just box intelligently. And if the opportunity came, he would capitalize on it. Otherwise, he wouldn't. And so he did well. Joe Smith Jr. Relentlessly chased him down after he got hurt. The round before, he started chasing him down after he had caught him with a looping right hand, overhand right hand that caught Bivol and made him stagger to the corner. You remember, Bivol's a small light heavyweight. So, he's sturdy, but he's small. So to see this smaller guy manhandle a bigger guy like that with just boxing skills alone was just very impressive. Very impressive. And again, it just proves my point that I always keep on telling you guys that, Jackson the Hopeful said, nah, I really only saw the Santana-Ramos fight. Santana moved like an old man down the stretch and got worn out. I was easily outboxed by Abel Ramos. I didn't see that fight, but the way how you said it is just so funny. That means he wasn't conditioned properly. So he got tired. I think that's what people sometimes don't realize when they talk about a boxer age and he looks old. It's just that they lost their wind, right? And they're tired. A boxer, what? I don't know if you boxed before Jackson the Hopeful, But I advise you to to get in a boxing ring. Now, you first don't just go in a boxing ring and try and box somebody or spar somebody. That's stupid, right? Go and get a little bit of training, get yourself some cardio, you know, do a lot of squats, do the box steps, you know, the box steps. So you know how to move in the boxing ring, how to move your body and stuff. Trust me, man. I just want you to go 2 rounds, not with a professional boxer, with somebody else. And you will see why Santana was moving like an old man. It's an extreme workout. And on top of that, remember, you're getting hit too. So on top of that, you're taking punishment while you're working out. Boxing is incredibly difficult, right? I would say boxing is harder than MMA in the sense that the kind of level of opponent that you're facing at the top tier, you can't even afford to make a small, what we would call, okay. So when we talk about, you know, these top tier fighters, we talk about the mistakes they make. Now, he don't move his head or whatever, right? Trust me, those are small mistakes compared to the mistakes you and I would make if we were to go into a boxing ring. We're making all kinds of mistakes in our stance, how we move, etc. We're gonna be clumsy. It's just awkward. And all I'm saying is, and I'm glad you're talking to me about this because to me it's funny. What I'm saying is that when you've gotten in there and actually done some boxing, I mean, I just started training a little bit in boxing, and that shit tired me out. I would be pouring sweat and stuff, you know what I'm saying? And just the way how you have to shoot shots and stuff, it's not as easy as it sounds. See, I'm in front behind the screen, so I'm emulating stuff, but I'm not even doing it properly, you know, and I can shoot a shot here, shoot a shot there, you know what I'm saying? Short shots, you know. You know, right? These are short shots. But if I were to like actually get into a boxing ring and actually have to deal with somebody, that's where everything kind of goes off sync. You know what I'm saying? And I actually think I should train myself and actually go into a boxing ring and face somebody in a professional fight. I think I should do that because after seeing what the Boxing Voice people have done, it inspires me to want to do the same. You know, because I mean, I got a general overview of what boxing is, right? But trust me, man, boxing is a lot more than what I'm telling you. And so if you have any time, check out Coach Eric Bradley's channel. I generally get informed by him. Check out Coach Eric Bradley's channel, The Fight Doctor. Check out Eric Bradley. Type in Eric Bradley on YouTube. Go there because you're going to realize just how much goes into boxing. There's a lot of shit that goes into boxing to get you to be a top tier boxer. I'll never be a top tier boxer in my life, even though I'm 44 years of age. I'm 170 pounds. I'm 5'11" to 6 feet tall. So I'm a tall boxer compared to those smaller guys. I mean, at super welter, that's around about the height anyway. But telling you guys, man, boxing's a thing it's so much going on with boxing. All right. So much goes on with boxing. Is at the highest level, there's so many little things you have to learn to do. All right. So anyway, yeah, so I was just saying that when I looked at Bevo, oh man, Bevo is beautiful to watch, man. I love seeing boxers. Now, Bevo, though, he uses some feints, but he basically is more of a counter puncher, more or less. And he sees all the gaps. So he's combinational counter puncher. So he sees the openings. He's like boom, 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 boom. And he's pretty quick, and he really puts some mustard on the shots. They sharp. They're sharp shots. You know, he punched like this, pop, right? So it's go pop, pop, and well placed shots. Like his the way how he turns over his shots and everything is well placed. You know, I love that, and he doesn't really use a lot of effort, so it's really quick and it really counts. And it's not just a bop 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 kind of combination, which is bullshit. Left right, left right. No, he hits you to the spleen. He gets you up top. You know, he catch you back on the side, catch you down below here. You know, I wish you guys could see what I'm talking about. You know. And I like that his shots are not necessarily long shots. They're short. He can also punch long. Oh, it's beautiful to watch him fight, man. I'm a Bevo fan. I think he's better than Bidabiev, and I think he's better than as a boxer. He's a better boxer than Sergey Kovalev. Definitely, hands down. He can fight on the inside. You know, he's more of a mid-range fighter. He can fight on the inside. He can fight on the outside. I like that. But he doesn't always. He doesn't stay in the pocket long. So he'll be in and out the pocket, but he does it in a very subtle way. I like him. I like him. I like him a lot. Jackson the Hopeful says, "Oh, I know, bro. Not only the movement, but body shots to the liver. Not even just that, but how mentally exhausting and probably even bigger challenge because of the intense focus and motor skill." Dude, for real, boy. Boxing is, it's another level, man. So when you see a guy like he starts to look like he's aging or he's slowing down rapidly, because you have to stay as relaxed as possible. That because the tension in your muscles and stuff just drains you. You know what I'm saying? I tell you, look at Dimitri Bivol and just how he just dissected Joe Smith Jr. Right? Joe Smith Jr. wasn't interested in just there was times with Joe Smith Jr. because again, it's so many different things going on there, right? Joe Smith Jr. didn't even look like he wanted to come in on Dimitri Bivol anymore. He was hesitant to come in, and then Bivol would be walking his ass down, and Bivol would just let him off the hook and say, come to me, man, bro. What are you afraid of? You know what I'm saying? And just the skill, and you can see how focused Bivol is as well, how focused they are. And oh man, mentally, everybody knows boxing is 90% mental, 10% physical. Mentally, you hear them say you have to be emotionally, mentally, and spiritually balanced with boxing. You have to have all three components. And it's just that. You have to be pure. You have to be clean. You have to treat your body well and all of that. And Bivol's not, as you can see, when you look at Bivol versus, for instance, with Joe Smith Jr., you can see Bivol's not this big, ripped dude, right? But yet you can see he's well conditioned, good cardio and everything. And I just love how he boxed Joe Smith Jr. I would have loved to. He's no Floyd Mayweather in terms of he's not very flashy, right? He's not a very flashy fighter. He's more mechanical, more technical. But what I like about him is just how he places his shots, man, and how he stays out of trouble and how he times his opponent. So his counter is like a combination of counters from the holes he sees. Like it's kind of like Lomachenko, except to me, Lomachenko, as athletic as Lomachenko is, to me, he's not as relaxed as Bivol is. Like Lomachenko does a lot of things quickly, but Bivol just so relaxed with it and just like pop, 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 pop. I love it. I love it. I like Bivol more than I like Lomachenko. I prefer Bivol to Lomachenko any day, anytime. Lomachenko does a lot more. I find Lomachenko does a lot of excessive foot movement as well. He does a lot of lateral movement that I don't think is necessary. You don't have to do all of that. I think Bivol's so fucking economical with his shots. Just how oh God, man. It's beautiful to watch. I'm a Bivol fan, right? I used to be a Bitter BF fan, but I'm a Bivol fan. Bivol don't have all that pop. He doesn't have a whole great sense of power, but when the opportunities there, he takes the opportunity. He's a small dude. He's a small light heavyweight. He's not a big light heavyweight like Kovalev or like Bitter BF, right? Gavordik, that motherfucker is good too. He's good, but I like Bivol more than Gavordik just because he's a small dude. He's a small dude. He's not really a light heavyweight. He and Badu Jack, I like both of them because Badu Jack, he's also a small light heavyweight. He's not a big light heavyweight. So I really appreciate these smaller guys that come up to the higher weight classes and dominate. You know, Andre Ward, he's not really a light heavyweight, but I like Andre Ward because he steps up into light heavyweight. So you'll see me favoring Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence because to me, he's a smaller guy moving up. You'll see me favor Canelo to Triple G or Danny Jacobs because he's a small guy. He don't belong in that division, but he's so good. He belongs in the division. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Canelo is not big now, but he's not a traditional middleweight. He came up from junior middleweight. You know what I'm saying? In fact, if you want to say where Canelo really began, he began as a welter. Right. And so when he started as a welter and he moved up to middleweight, that's a huge accomplishment, in my opinion. You know, everybody praises Roberto Duran for being a lightweight and moving all the way up to middleweight. Right. So why can't we give Canelo praise? Dimitri Bivol, he's really a super middleweight that moved up to light heavyweight. Badu Jack is really a super middleweight that moved up to light heavyweight. You know, and Badu Jack, he's nothing special and flashy either. But again, he has this particular kind of style and particular kind of defense that makes us favor him. You know what I'm saying? Bivol's not that flashy or anything, but boy, that motherfucker can box. I mean, I love how he positions his body, how he gets certain shots in, how he sees certain shots, how his defense is good enough. It's just distance defense. He maintains distance mostly, blocks punches. He don't really, does he really move his head? He don't really move his head, right? Bevo don't really move his head. You know, Battle Jack move his head. But Bevo's so freaking economical, man. I like how everything he does is slight movements, slight freaking movements. He does move his head a bit. Yeah, he's always in a different plane, coming down a different line to you, so you miss him and stuff. I like Bevo, man. He rolls certain punches. He have a certain degree of skill. He's not as good as Pascal and those guys in terms of skill wise, but he know what he is, and he's so freaking economical in how he does it. You know what I'm saying? I like guys like that. So yeah. So I enjoyed watching Bevo kick Joe Smith Jr.'s ass. Joe Smith Jr. definitely took a beating right there, but yeah, he don't belong. He just didn't belong on that level with Bevo. It's just what it is. I'm surprised to hear people in Pound for Pound Buxton report saying they give Joe Smith Jr. a chance. I didn't understand it, because there are levels to this, you know. But you know, it was nice to see the smaller guy kick the ass of the bigger guy. It was just, I love that. On to the next one. So I told you about Maurice Hooker. Maurice Hooker, man, didn't really impress me. I thought he should have been able to handle Lespierre a lot better, and he was getting the lead right in on him every now and then. He wouldn't get two shots together on Lespierre. He caught Lespierre with a nice body shot, though, that put him down. So that was good, but that was pretty much it. I think that the super lightweight division is weak. It's a weak division, quite frankly. That's how I see it. So I'm not really interested in it. And I kind of half slept through the fight, to be honest with you, because Lespierre, he had good defense, but his offense was a little bit off. Like, he would miss shots offensively. He was, of course, the shorter, small fighter. And the thing that I couldn't understand is how come Maurice Hooker was allowing this guy to land shots to his body, lead left to his body, right hooks to his head. I was like, you're the longer guy. You're mobile. You shouldn't be letting this little guy land shots like that. And you were landing lead rights to his body too. So how come you allowing this shorter guy to get on the inside of you? And Lespierre was getting on the inside of him and doing some work. You know, they would tie up and stuff, but he would do some work. And I think once or twice he hurt Maurice Hooker in the fight. And he not supposed to be on Hooker's level. You know what I'm saying? So I was I impressed with Lespierre? I was actually a little bit impressed with him, but he didn't do enough. Like, he wasn't doing enough on the inside to really say, well, okay, you know, he would let Maurice Hooker off the hook. And I mean, sorry about the pun on words, but it was like, he's good, but he's, you know, he's like a good, nice sparring partner. You know, he nothing more. So Maurice Hooker got the win on that fight. I think he feels fortunate about it. And Lespierre, he got a name on his list. He lost to Maurice Hooker, but you know, he got a name on his list. He could say he fought a championship fight. So good for him, man. Maybe we'll see him again. Maybe we won't. So yeah, that fight didn't really impress me much. What do you think about the cards? I don't know if you saw Hooker. Did you see Bivol versus Joe Smith Jr., man? What did you think? All right, so I'm yet to see. Now the other card was on Fox. I'm yet to see. Let's see here. I did not watch the Robert Guerrero versus Vincent Herrera. I didn't watch that fight. I don't know what happened there. I did not watch. I know Guerrero won. I can see it in front of me because I'm watching the results right now. But I don't know how that fight panned out. I didn't watch that fight. I didn't watch the Jesus Coelho versus Carlos Padilla. I heard Coelho. I see here in front of me that Coelho won the fight at lightweight. Good for him. And Juan Carlos Payano, I heard he got Damian Vasquez out of there. I didn't see that fight either, so I have to go and watch that. But when it comes to the Efe Ajagba versus Amir Mansour fight, I was chuckling all the way through. Because Ajagba couldn't miss Mansour's big nugget, man. It looked like he was punching at a melon. It was like he was having pinata practice. He couldn't miss that guy's nugget, man. And put him down twice, and yeah, Mansoor quit. They quit on the stool. So it is what it is. All right, Porter versus Yordenis Ugas. Like I said, a lot of the guys, except for FFA Jagba, a lot of the guys, in my opinion, didn't do enough. Sean Porter didn't do enough. He could have done a lot more against Yordenis Ugas, I thought. And some people will say I'm being hard on Sean, but I thought he could have done a little bit more against Yordenis Ugas. Yordenis Ugas was solid. He was strong. He was pushing Porter around a little bit. But I thought, well, the strategy was to box Ugas and then crash him. But I think Porter's father, Kenny Porter, he probably realized that ain't happening tonight. So just box his ass. And then given that Sean Porter had difficulty making weight, I think, that was the right decision. So I'm not mad at it. I just thought that I like Keith Thurman won the fight. Don't know what Ray Mancini saw. Maybe he thought Sean was going to go in there and bang with the guy on the inside a lot more. I looked at the stats. Yordenis Ugas actually does well on the inside. So I think the strategy that they had was to give Sean more of an advantage on the outside, since Ugas was more of an inside fighter. And as you can see, when you look at the exchanges, Ugas is the guy that land more of the body shots in the fight. So Porter with his jab, his sharp cutting jab coming in is mostly what he caught Ugas with. He caught him with an overhand right. He caught him with a jab right. In some round, pushed him back and made him wobble a little bit. But other than that, I think he boxed him on the outside. I think it was a sensible move, since Ugas seems to be a guy that likes to tango on the inside, actually. So it actually worked out well. And Ugas is trying to claim that he won that fight. What the like, seriously, you're going to stand around waiting for a guy to counter him, and you're going to win a fight? That you don't win a fight that way. You're always going to be a step behind the other guy. You're letting the other guy dictate what you do. So no, he did not win that fight. So that's my personal opinion. I know you also share the opinion that he did not win the fight. Jackson the Hopeful, you said you aren't being hard on Porter. People actually almost protesting the decision. They even say he got knocked down in the 12th. He didn't. No, he didn't get knocked down. When Ugas clipped him over it seemed as though he clipped him on. Nah, he didn't get knocked down. Come on, man. Like, I don't know. I don't even know if people know boxing. Like, Ray Mancini was saying he got knocked down. I was like, no, he didn't get knocked down. And even if he got knocked down in the 12th, he was going to win the fight anyway. It wasn't a close fight. Porter's strategy was to stay on the outside, come on the inside, and then go back on the outside. Bang a little bit, scrap a little bit with him, go back on the outside. That was Porter's thing. He was winning the fight. I mean, come on. Adrian Broner knocked him down in the 12th, so what? Yeah. Ugas is a strong guy. He was really strong in that fight, but didn't mean shit because he wasn't doing much. You can't be waiting on Porter. You got to initiate stuff. Porter was doing all the initiating. Porter was always first. How you gonna win a fight and you're not even being first? It's not like you landing a whole bunch of punches. Yeah, you catch him with a liver shot or some body shot. Great, But at the end of the day, you need more than that to really. I mean, he was landing the crisper, cleaner punches, right? But he wasn't doing it very often. It was like one punch, two punch. That's about it. He might land like one or two punches around. It's not enough, man. It's not enough. You're waiting for Porter to come in to counter him. That's stupid. So clearly Porter won, if not every round, most of the rounds of the fight. He won those rounds. Porter did get hurt by Ugas though, coming inside. So that could be the reason as well, even though I don't think so. I think strategically they realized that Ugas was a guy that fought on the inside, so they just kind of denied him. But Porter knew he had to get on the inside to fight Ugas because Ugas had a long range. So he knew he had to get past Ugas' jab and stuff. So I guess he was picking the right spots. So yeah. But no, I thought Porter won that fight, and I thought he coming from a higher weight class would have been stronger than Ugas. I was wrong. Ugas was in the shape like what Kell Brook had. The difference is Kell Brook was actually engaging Porter and doing a lot more, which is why he beat Porter. Yeah, so there you go. So I don't know how Ugas thinks he won the fight. I mean, he's probably hallucinating or something, but no, he didn't win that fight. Not at all. Anybody who's saying, "Oh, I think Ugas won," you'd be looking at him. No, he did well. I mean, he did well in the fight. It's not necessarily somebody I want to go and see again, unless he's gonna. Ugas needs to go to the drawing board and realize he needs to be more engaging. Is the word I'm looking for. You have to throw more punches. You have to, or not even throw more punches. Just walk to this guy, walk in on him. You know, press the action. He wasn't pressing the action. What he would do is he would kind of cut off the ring, and then he would just stand in front of Porter, and Porter would just stand in front of him, and he wait for Porter to do something to counter Porter. If you look at, for instance, Canelo versus Erislandy Lara, right? Canelo wasn't waiting on Lara. He was setting it up so he can get on the inside and land a punch on Lara. And then you would actually see Canelo move forward into Lara, right? Ugas wasn't moving forward into Porter. It was none of that. He just stand his ground. When Porter comes in, that's when he throws his punches. Can't do that, man. You got to show intent. I want to engage. You have to actually show that. And that's the thing that he probably didn't get. And so you're the one hungry to get the title. So you got to at least show that by advancing towards the guy. You're cutting off the ring. That's great. Now advance towards him, you know. But he wouldn't do that because Porter was so quick. Porter's speed was kind of thwarting him trying to engage with Porter like that. They should have walked him down and pinned him down to the corner and then try and land punches on him. And Porter wasn't wheeling out from the corners. Every once now and then he would slip under him and wheel out from him, yeah. But for the most part, he wasn't doing that. So go ahead and just try and land punches on him and stuff. But he wasn't really doing that. So no, I can give Ugas the win over that Porter there. Anyways, man, it was good talking with you, Jackson the Hopeful. Man, what can I say about these fights, man? I think that boxing is a fantastic sport. These fights were not as competitive as I thought they would be, yet they were okay fights. All right, they were okay fights. Did Sean Porter impress people with his boxing skills? No, probably not. Probably not. But that was their plan. The plan was to box Ugas. And then Porter came in. I remember Porter saying, "I'm going to stop Ugas." I'm like, "You're going to stop Ugas?" Why do boxers say, "I'm going to stop this dude"? Maybe that's his intent. He was thinking that. But again, when he went into the ring and faced Ugas, he realized, nah, I ain't stopping this dude. And then when I saw him on the way-in, when I saw Ugas on the way-in, even though Porter did say his last statement was, "I'm not taking this guy lightly," which was a good idea. But the thing with Ugas didn't press the action. If Ugas pressed the action, we'd have had a much more different narrative, and then we'd be able to figure out what was going on. Of course, Porter likes to counter guys who press the action. So I don't know if that would have worked in his favor. But at the end of the day, you know, he didn't press the action. He just waited for Porter to come to him, which was a kind of stupid thing to do. But he did. So it is what it is. Yeah. All right, man. So that's all the fights. We just did a little discussion on it. I was expecting more people to come through. I thought there were more boxing heads on here, but I guess they're on other channels doing other things, which is all right. It's cool. But spread the word, man. What you need, we out here again back. We used to have nice, robust discussions. A lot of people used to come through on this channel. I'm looking forward to seeing more of you guys. I'll try to be more consistent every day with the boxing and stuff. I got some more videos coming up for you guys. You know, one of the videos that I'm putting out very soon is one on expectation and crowd pleasers. Expectation and crowd pleasers. I think I'm gonna just go through what crowds and people in general, people who don't know nothing about boxing, what they feel is a good fight, and I'll get to that. Yes, boxing is about entertainment, but I always say to people, if you was going to watch soccer, right, for instance, soccer, and you didn't know the guys, you hear football, and you don't know the guys are supposed to kick the ball and it's supposed to go into a net, right? Then when you're watching this thing, you'd be saying, what kind of stupid football is this, right? You would say that because you misunderstand what you're watching, right? It's the same thing with fucking boxing, man. If you don't know what boxing is, it's called fucking boxing, man. If you don't know what boxing is, then you're going to end up misunderstanding what's going on in there, and you're going to say this thing is boring, right? If you know what fucking boxing is, on the other hand, fights that other people say are boring, you will find exciting because you're understanding what is going on in that ring. A lot of times, these people don't understand what the hell is going on in the ring because none of them have ever boxed in their life before. And that includes some of the commentators for some of these fights. And a guy like Boom Boom Mancini, you know, he's an outspoken guy and everything. But let me be honest with you. Boom Boom Mancini always liked knockouts. He would like exciting fights and stuff like that, right? Boom Boom Mancini thought Sean Porter lost the fight because, one, the other guy was walking him down, and two, Sean Porter wasn't engaging enough on the inside. Two of the stupidest points you could ever make. All right. Winning a fight has nothing to do with whether a guy's walking you down or not. You win the fight if you're landing fucking punches, right? You got to land punches on somebody, right? And if you're landing punches on the guy, he's not landing as much punches on you. And his punches may be powerful and thudding, but he's not really doing much to try and land those punches on you. He's not more active than you are. And how the hell you gonna win a fight? That's what I don't understand. Boom Boom Mancini plays to emotions of people. And he says things, he knows better, but he says some really stupid things. I remember once he said, Floyd Mayweather's a master boxer. He's a master boxer. This guy's so good. And then he said, when it comes to the Mayweather-Pacquiao fight, his wife and they were falling asleep, right? While he and his friend was engrossed in it. And it told me that Boom Boom Mancini knows what he's seeing, but he decides to say something else because he thinks that the casual fan will think this way. And I find that fucking stupid because this is your moment to educate people on boxing. And instead of using that moment to educate people on boxing, you decide to play to the crowd, which to me is the politics in boxing and makes it fucking stupid. It's hypocritical because you've been a boxer. You know what it takes and what is going on in there. You know. So why would you go ahead now and try and throw out something to appease the masses when you should be educating them on what you just saw? And I like what Keith Thurman said to Boom Boom Mancini. He was like laughing when Boom Boom Mancini, you know, he said how he got knocked down in the 12th. And Keith Thurman was like, "No, man, come on. You know better than that, man. You saw the stuff on the mat. You knew he slipped and fell." And then Boom Boom Mancini says this, "Oh, yeah, I know he got hit on the shoulder." How the fuck you going to get hit on the shoulder and fall down? If you off balance, but that's not a knockdown. If I hit you on the shoulder, and he didn't get hit on the shoulder, he got hit in the back. He got hit on his back here, right? Right? If I get hit on the shoulder, right, or on my back, I'm not gonna go down with that. Come on, nobody goes down with that. But if I slip and I ain't got no traction underneath me, I'll fall, right? So this is what happened. And to me, sometimes these guys, man, they know what they're doing. They know what they're doing. Boom Boom Mancini knows exactly what he was doing there. And I find that deceptive. I find that wrong when a guy does that, you know, and it does not help the sport of boxing when a guy says that. He could have said very easily, he could have said, "You know what, man, I can see how people would think so," and educate them on what happened. And Keith Thurman it was easy for Keith Thurman to answer that. And Keith Thurman was right. Sean Porter should have probably stuck to his own game plan. But I think when they looked at what happened with Porter on the inside, I think Kenny Porter said, "You know what, man, we just gonna box his ass. That's it. We're not doing no more." And he did outbox him, to be fair. He did outbox him, so it is what it is. Anyways, man, I'm glad you guys were here. Shout out to Jackson the Hopeful. It was nice having a discussion with you. I know you enjoyed this video. I wish people had come through. I wanted to hear some people's opinions on it. So next week, yeah, I'm coming with the next stream. We're gonna talk about that. Next week's fight is gonna be the fight, boy. It's going to joint on Fox. So we're gonna see what happens. I hear a lot of people saying, "Oh, boxing is get a stink on boxing," with Sean Porter beating Ugas, and I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? You know, sorry about the F-bomb. What are you talking about, man? You know, there's no stink on boxing. The only stink on boxing is you with your stupid ass self. That you don't understand boxing. I hate when people who don't know what they're saying belt out the loudest. They're the loudest voices in the building because it does not help boxing when these stupid people do these things. And I feel like Boom Boom Mancini, he's trying to fuck up the program with Fox. He's got to be, because I don't understand. You only give Sean Porter 2 fucking rounds. How you gonna give him 2 rounds, man? I don't know as much boxing as Boom Boom Mancini because he's boxed. And you telling me you, being a former boxer, didn't see Sean Porter whoop this guy's ass? Didn't, not whoop his ass, but I mean, I beat him. Come on, man, Ray Mancini. Shame on you, man. Shame on you. Shame on you, because I don't know boxing like you do, and you know exactly what you were saying. And you got the audacity to say that on public television. What are you trying to do? Are you trying to hurt PBC? What are you doing? I mean, come on, man. Call it like you see it, man. Shout out to LXM100. Would definitely like to see Ugas versus Danny and Spence. Nah, man, I don't want to see Ugas versus anybody really, but if they want to throw him in there, he not doing enough. What are you gonna do with Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia gonna walk to his ass, right? He gonna fight him, but Danny gonna have to initiate everything because Ugas doesn't initiate nothing. He's not doing nothing. He throw a jab here, he throw a jab there, but he's not advancing towards you. Ugas versus Spence. For what? For what? Spence, look, you don't have to do nothing but box Ugas on the outside. Sean Porter, who's a short dude who's not supposed to be able to box Ugas on the outside, was doing it effectively. What for these bigger guys? What for Danny Garcia? Danny Garcia is a counterpuncher. That fight would look boring as hell because Danny gonna be waiting for Ugas to come in. Ugas gonna be waiting for Danny to come in, and they're gonna stand watching each other most of the time. But Danny will do a jab to the pit every now and then. It's gonna be boring as shit. I can guarantee you that. Because Danny's not gonna go in there for Ugas to land body shots. Ugas is waiting on people. Like, what are you doing? You don't wait. You got this far to a championship match, and now you're waiting on the dudes. Like, he literally was waiting on the dude. Like you know, there are a lot of times when people talk about counter punches and stuff and how they're waiting on people and stuff. I remember, I forgot what the guy's name is, the Cuban boxer who he was fighting Jean Pascal, and this dude made things happen. He was coming in, landing his shots, fighting Jean Pascal. It's a great fight. I thought he was robbed in that fight. But this Cuban boxer, he just standing there. He's standing there waiting on you to come in on him because he has the reach advantage and height advantage. That's stupid, man. Don't wait. Make something happen. You should be able to bully them to the corner and then land your shots on them. So I'm surprised that you guys are so hyped on Ugas. Like, he don't impress me one fart, man. He's strong. He lands some good body punches. For the most part, though, he ain't doing shit. If the guy's circling you, you give a guy all the time in the world to circle out on you and just buy time. And he just circle the ring. And then the guy says, oh, okay, I'm going to sit down now and fight you. And he just stands in front of you fighting you. And then he pops the jab. He's first. And he lands the jab on your head. And he comes on the inside. You're a little scrappy on the inside. So you get to land a liver shot or a spleen shot, you know, and that's it. Like, come on, man. Like, really? Anyways, man. We're going to talk about next week's fights coming up. I'm very excited for that. I'm very excited for those fights that are upcoming. Hold on a second. The upcoming fights is what gets me. So, I don't know how many of you guys have watched Katie Taylor. I've seen her. She looks dope. But if you gotta see an upcoming fight next weekend with women's boxing, I didn't really talk too much about women's boxing this weekend. By the way, happy International Women's Day to women. I know it's 2 days late, but still. Katie Taylor versus Rose Valente. That's something you should really watch. Tevin Farmer's going to be fighting on Friday as well against Juno Carroll. If you're a Tevin Farmer fan, you might want to watch that. But, of course, the fight that we really want to see, that's the fight of the fight of the fight. That's the fight, man. Is Errol Spence Jr. versus Mikey Garcia. I can't wait. I can't wait. You know, I know this fight's going the distance already. I know that already. I can't tell you who's going to be the clear-cut winner because Errol Spence Jr. is a hell of a boxer, hell of a fighter, hell of a puncher. Mikey Garcia has proven. Now, there's a difference. Listen, did you hear what I just said? Mikey Garcia has proven that he's a hell of a puncher, a hell of a boxer, and a hell of, not just a hell of a boxer, but a hell of a technician who has gone up multiple weight classes fighting bigger guys. So he's proven himself. So I can't say, oh, Mikey's too small for Errol Spence Jr. That'd be stupid, because he's done it time and time again, from featherweight all the way up to super lightweight. So I'm never gonna doubt Mikey Garcia. So you guys understand how I picture Mikey Garcia. Mikey Garcia did something that Hector Camacho did. Hector Camacho went up to welterweight. Then he went up to middleweight. Fuck, man. He went up to middleweight. Then he came back down to lightweight. I think he was he a super featherweight? I think he was a super featherweight. Started off super featherweight, went to lightweight, won a title there, went up to middleweight, and was competitive. Never really won a real title, but he's won titles up there. Came back down. He beat people like Vinny Pazienza. He beat fucking Roberto Duran. This motherfucker beat those guys at middleweight, and then came back down to lightweight. Went back up to middleweight. Then we came back down to welterweight. Mikey Garcia reminds me of this guy, right? Mikey Garcia fought at featherweight, then went up to super featherweight. Then he had to stop because of Bob Arum and the bullshit that Top Rank was doing to him. Came back out, had his first lightweight fight, murked that guy, then went up to super lightweight and took on 2 fights, and then came back down to lightweight and unified. And now he's jumping up to welterweight. It's fucking crazy. And all of that he's doing in 1 year. Think about that. You got to have real respect for Mikey Garcia, man. This motherfucker is dope. Jackson the Hopeful says, I believe it will go to distance in the Spence Garcia, but I got a feeling there would be a knockdown. I don't know. It's possible. It's very possible. It ain't going to be Mikey. I can guarantee you that. He's not going, Spence is not even going to drop him. Right. And I watched Spence versus his last fight he had with that big dude. I forgot what his name is. Hold on. See if I can find it. Oh, actually, yeah. And Errol Spence is the truth. Don't get me wrong. I don't favor Mikey. I think it's a 50-50 fight, but I'm backing Mikey to beat Errol Spence because he's the smaller guy. Right? So that's the reason. But Errol Spence. Ooh, it's also gonna have a WBC honorary belt, the diamond welterweight belt. So WBC's also got a belt that they're gonna put in there. I think because of what Mikey's doing, they want to just honor it. It's just because what makes this fight interesting is what Mikey's doing. He's jumping up. His last fight was at lightweight. He's jumping up from lightweight all the way up to welterweight. That's what makes this fucking fight interesting, right? This fight would not be interesting if Errol Spence was fighting a Mikey Garcia who was already a welterweight. Mikey Garcia is jumping up from lightweight to welterweight. Yeah, he had a super lightweight fight or junior welterweight fight before, but he's jumping up to welterweight. That's what makes it interesting. It's Mikey Garcia that makes this fight interesting, not Errol Spence. Errol Spence is awesome, but it's Mikey Garcia, and Mikey Garcia brings a reputation that he's undefeated. Multiple weight classes he's fought in, and done very, very well. So I cannot doubt Mikey Garcia. I can't do it. And as much as I say this is a 50-50 fight, you know, I'm going to always favor the smaller guy who's coming up in weight, who has this track record, this history of doing well against bigger fighters. So you got to understand, that's why I'm riding with Mikey there, and I favor Mikey to win. I would like him to win, in other words, over Errol Spence, even though I'm not an Errol Spence big fan, to be honest with you. But if Errol Spence wins, I wouldn't feel bad about it. But I would love to see Mikey Garcia do it because there's just so much at stake and so much achievement that would be behind that if he were to win. So, you know, that's why I'm backing Mikey like that, because he's about to make history. Errol Spence is not really about to make history. He's about to beat a very good smaller fighter, or an excellent smaller fighter, actually. But Mikey's about to do something that's Hall of Fame shit. It's Hall of Fame shit. All right. If you guys really think about it, it's going to be historic. I mean, nobody since Henry Armstrong has done this shit. first of all. Second of all, Ocampo. Yeah, that's the name. Ocampo. Derek Webster. Shout out to you, bro. Yeah, Ocampo's the guy that he faced. And Ocampo did well against him. He was landing those lead rights to his body before Errol Spence hurt him. I think it hurt him. I can't remember if it was the third round or fourth round, whatever. And just crashed his ass. He just got him out of there after that. But yeah, what I'm saying is Mikey Garcia is on the verge of making history. He's gonna go into the Boxing Hall of Fame if he wins this fight. He's gonna become pound for pound #1 in the world if he wins this fight. He's gonna be, depending on how the fight goes, it could be he could just become an all-time great just like that. He could be an ATG just like that. Because this is the kind of fight people don't understand. That's why I said he's daring to be great, because this is the kind of fight that will elevate him way up there if he were to win it. Not draw it, win it. Even if he draws, that would be good too. But if he were to win this fight, fuck, the sky's the limit. All right? The sky's the limit for him, and it's a pay-per-view fight. So much to gain from this fucking fight. Even if he was to lose this fight and lose it by going to decision, he has a lot to gain. He's gonna get a lot of points for it, depending on how he gets the decision. If it's one in which he's just completely outboxed, it won't matter. If it's one in which Errol Spence beats his ass up, like what happened with Adrian Broner and Marcus McDonough, it won't matter. But if he holds his own, it shows that he can make the distance with Errol Spence and has like a unanimous decision, but the rounds were close, or a split decision because it was that competitive, or a draw because it was that competitive. Those things are great. I mean, that's huge points on Mikey Garcia. It would show he was able to deal with Spence's size and his boxing IQ and his style very well. So I'm looking forward to seeing. Shout out to Derek Webster. Shout out to Jackson the Hopeful. Shout out to ELXM100. Yeah, shout out to you guys. I want to see what Mikey Garcia can do, obviously, with Errol Spence. So next week, man, that's the fight, man. That's the fight. Yeah, Carlos Ocampo. That's right. Carlos Ocampo, he was all right, man. He was undefeated. I realized, this is good for Errol Spence, but Carlos Ocampo, he did okay. He was doing okay, but again, consistency. Consistency and razor sharp focus, and Ocampo was taking punishment where he shouldn't have taken punishment. And he had the skills to be able to not take that punishment, but he ended up taking it anyway. You know what I mean? It is what it is. So, these guys can do a lot better if they just apply themselves. But it's just keep that focus, that razor focus and consistency. Realize where you mess up in certain things and not do them again. So anyway, that's what I got to say on that. So I'm looking forward to that fight. That's the only fight over the weekend. And Katie Taylor, I think it's Katie Taylor the Friday. So the Friday, Katie Taylor. Let's see what else. On this card, let me see what else we got here. Hold on. Oh, that's the same card too. All right, now on the same card, David Benavidez is going to be facing Jalen Love. Jalen Love is going to get his ass whooped again. It is what it is. That's what I think. I don't know. I might be wrong. Chris Arreola is going to return. Gail from Pound for Pound Boxing Report, she's excited to see Chris Arreola return. I don't really give a damn about him like that. Charles Martin is going to return as well, the heavyweight. So 2 heavyweights are returning: Charles Martin, the southpaw, and Chris Arreola. Let me see what else we got here. Thomas Hill from Mayweather Promotions. He's going to be fighting. And that's about it. I don't think there's nobody else. This card. Louis Neri, he gonna return as well. That's about it. So it's a decent card, but I'm more excited for seeing Katie Taylor fight again. Katie Taylor's pretty good. I think she may be on the same card with Tevin Farmer, maybe. She may be on the same card with Tevin Farmer. By the way, she is the WBA, WBO, and IBF lightweight champion. No, actually, no. Sorry. She's the IBF and WBA lightweight champion. She's going to be facing Rose Valente, who is the WBO lightweight champion. So it's going to be a unification bout. That should be dope. So let me ask you guys another question. Another question I think is going to be interesting is, what do you guys think, Sean Porter, who do you think he should face next? I think it's going to be Keith Thurman. I think he's going to be facing Keith Thurman next, and Manny Pacquiao is going to face the winner of Errol Spence versus Mikey Garcia. I think that's where that's going. Because if Errol Spence wins, Pacquiao going to get Errol. If Mikey wins, and the only reason this fight is a pay-per-view is because of Mikey, by the way. Fox knows this is a pay-per-view event because Mikey Garcia is going to make history if he can win. If. And the cool thing about this, which is why I think that this kind of fight is great, is a lot of people don't think Mikey can pull this off. So I think that makes it even more sweet if he were to pull it off. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. So Tevin Farmer, he's going to be facing John Carroll, an undefeated fighter, for the IBF super featherweight title. This is obviously at super featherweight, where Gervonta Davis is. I'm not gonna be surprised if Tevin Farmer faces Gervonta Davis later this year. That is a very high possibility because I think it's gonna happen. Katie Taylor versus Rose Valente. That's the fight I really want to see. On the card also we have Gabriel Rosado, who's gonna be facing some guy called Masij Sulecki or some kind of thing like that. Hank Lundy's coming back again. He's facing Avery Sparrow. Luke Campbell's going to be on the card from England. Southpaw facing Adrian Young. Yeah, so it looks like. I don't think it's anymore. So that's the card. So this is going to be on DAZN. So we'll see how it goes. And Deontay Wilder, as we all know, looks like he's going to be in talks with DAZN. So we'll see how that pans out in the end. You know, how things turn out for them. So I want to hear what you guys have to think about. Well, obviously, I want to hear, you know what? I'm going to put all of you guys on the spot. Jackson, Derek Webster, LXM100, who you picking to win Mikey Garcia versus Errol Spence? Who's the guy you're picking to win? Put it in the chat section. Let's hear what you guys have to say about that. Who you picking to win between Mikey Garcia and Errol Spence? Now, I'm going to tell you who I want to win, but I'm not saying that that's going to happen, right? I want Mikey to win. I want Mikey Garcia to win for many of the reasons I've suggested before. But that doesn't mean Mikey's going to win. I think it's a 50-50 fight. But I want to hear what you guys got to say. Now, I've been watching Mikey hit the heavyweight. Mikey hits fucking hard, man. That he's cracking them bag and the bag just exploding with sound. Mikey hits hard. So, anyways, that's beside the point. The point is, who do you think is going to win this fight? Predictions. Come on, let's be on the record. If you gotta eat crow, eat crow. Let's hear what you guys say. Who do you think is going to win that fight? And then this is a sidebar, a side note. I don't know if you guys follow women's boxing, but you should really do some homework on this lady. Katie Taylor versus Rose Valente. Check that out. Check that shit out. Who do you think is going to win in that unification match between Katie Taylor and Rose Valente? And that's the undercard of the pay-per-view. It's gonna be sick, man. So no, shit, no. That's not it. That's DAZN, sorry. That's gonna be in Philadelphia. So who do you think is gonna win between Katie Taylor and Rose Valente? Yeah. Who do you think is gonna win? And Rose Valente is an undefeated fighter, like Katie Taylor. So I want to hear who you think's gonna win. And I'm gonna watch that fight. I'm definitely gonna watch that fight. Jackson Hopes. I have Mikey making history. Fuck yeah, I like that. You got balls, bro. So you know what I'm saying? Mikey beats him. All right. Hey, look, I'm riding with you. Just because of that, I'm gonna eat my crow if Mikey doesn't win. I'm gonna go all the way out there. Now, let me just say, he got an uphill battle to beat Errol Spence, to beat him. I don't think he's gonna get stopped. I don't think he's gonna get dropped. But I do believe that Errol has what it takes to change up change up and adapt. And because he's so much bigger than Mikey, and the fact that it's a PBC event, they may favor Errol over Mikey. Depends. All right. But what I would say is, at the end of the day, I favor Mikey to win this fight too. I want Mikey to win this fight, first of all. Not because I hate Errol or anything. I've not been a huge Errol fan, but I just think that the smaller guy beating the bigger guy, and the fact that Mikey's going to make so much history if he was to win this fight, I would like him to win it for that. Errol, he got a whole career ahead of him. So, and besides that, he's still developing. He's still facing tougher and tougher fights. You know what I'm saying? Kell Brook was a tough fight. Lamont Peterson, not so much. So he hasn't really been tested that much, right? And he hasn't fought nobody bigger than him, to be honest with you. He hasn't fought nobody at welterweight that's bigger than him. He's probably the biggest welterweight out there. So he's been able to stop people and pull him out, crash him, etc. I just don't think he's going to do that with Mikey. I think he's going to have a lot of respect for Mikey at the end of this fight. So that's why I picked Mikey to beat Errol Spence. He's supposedly the boogeyman in the division, right? So I picked Mikey to beat Errol Spence. And we're going to see how it'll pan out, right? We'll see. But I'm with you, man. I'm going with Mikey. I'm going with Mikey by split decision win. And that's where I'm going, because I think Mikey has a bunch of things that are much more refined than Errol Spence has it. Because of the level of competition he faced, and the fact that he's been fighting bigger guys than himself. Lamont Peterson always been the bigger guy. He been the bully. You know what I'm saying? When he's fighting other opponents. So Lamont Peterson tried to be the bully against Errol Spence, and that didn't work. Chris Algieri was doing pretty good until he screwed up and he left the plan. Let's see. Who else was smaller than Errol Spence? I can't think of nobody else. So Errol Spence has really never been the smaller fighter either. So all of those things, I think, are what make it. To me, Mikey's got that experience of being a smaller guy all the time. So I think that's what helps Mikey in these fights. Jackson Olson says, I would not bet on it, but Mikey seems to be motivated, well-conditioned, has a phenomenal skill in his feet and power. Even besides his feet and power, man, the one thing I got to say about Mikey Garcia, a lot of people are overlooking, is his timing. Yes, he gets caught with shots, some good shots too. And I expect him to get caught with some shots against Errol Spence. And yes, late in the fight, Mikey does get winded a bit and slow down. Or sometimes he changes up his boxing style completely and will just box you, right? But at the end of the day, I do believe that Mikey Garcia he has a equal chance as Errol Spence to win this fight. So I'm going to go and lean towards Mikey and see what happens in this fight, because I've watched him crack in the mitts. And from what I heard in sparring with these middleweights and stuff, that motherfucker, he ready, okay? And the history of Robert Garcia and his father getting fighters ready for fights, they're usually physically very strong. And the fact, and Marcos Maidana was motherfucking strong. You know what I'm saying? He was real strong. He was hitting as Floyd said, he hits like he has steel in his hands. He was hitting like a monster from hell. And if Mikey, from what I heard, broke Marcos Maidana's ribs in fucking sparring with 16-ounce gloves, that motherfucker can punch. And you can't really see it. When you look at Mikey, he doesn't look like a guy that can punch. It's kind of like Manny Pacquiao. When you see Manny Pacquiao, small, little, diminutive little guy, you're not really thinking that this motherfucker can punch. But it's when I saw him cracking the fucking punching bag, and you just hearing the thing going, brah, brah. I was like, flick, This motherfucker could crack some ribs. He catches Errol Spence, you know, to the body, he might just break something. You know what I'm saying? And Errol Spence puts a lot of yeah, Mikey Garcia, he cracked Marcus McDonald's ribs. The motherfucker can punch. They say, I think I remember back in the day, Brandon Rios talking about the hardest guy that ever hit him was fucking Mikey Garcia. The motherfucker can punch, and he punches hard. What do you think Adrian Broner was like backing off on the motherfucker? Because the motherfucker punches hard. He knocked down Sergey Lipinets, remember? In fact, in the last set of fights, other than Adrian Broner, he's knocked down all his opponents. The motherfucker can punch and hard, okay? So it's not just that he's strong. He's physically strong. He looks like a small guy, but Mikey is strong. And on top of that, he can fucking punch. And do you know anybody from the RGBA gym that can't punch? They go with Robert Garcia. He gets them like gorilla strong. Look at the transformation with Josecito Lopez. Josecito Lopez faced Andre Berto. Andre Berto stopped his ass. Josecito Lopez was landing all kind of combination of Andre Berto. He wasn't doing Berto nothing, right? Comes back, faces Keith Thurman, and the motherfucker be pushing Keith Thurman back. Almost knocked his head off his shoulders in the 9th round, I think it was, right? That's the kind of shit that Robert Garcia and his gym does. So when anybody said to me, oh, Mikey, he gonna get creamed by Spence, I was like, what the fuck are y'all talking about? Have you seen what that gym produces? Do you see those creatures that come out of the gym? Robert Garcia's gym? What the fuck are you guys talking about? So I know Errol Spence cannot stop Mikey Garcia if Mikey Garcia boxes correctly and everything, because he's gonna box smart. And like I said, the difference, okay. So we just recently saw a fight this weekend with Bivol, right? Bivol's a very smart fighter. Mikey's smarter than Bivol. Can you guys get that? He don't throw as many combinations as Bivol. He's smarter than Bivol. And Bivol, who physically is not as strong as Joe Smith Jr., and you saw Joe Smith Jr. pick up Bivol and slam dunk him. But Bivol, as much as he's not as strong, as physically strong as Joe Smith Jr., he's sturdy. So when he slammed down Bivol down on the ground, you would think Bivol would damage something. Fuck no. Bivol gets back up and cracks his ass and starts beating his ass up again, right? And Bivol's the smaller guy, right? Andre fucking Ward, right? Strong motherfucker, right? Strong motherfucker. He's not a heavy puncher, but he's a strong motherfucker. Floyd Mayweather, strong motherfucker. You just look at these motherfuckers and they're strong, right? They're not big dudes, right? The difference is Mikey is strong and he also got fucking punching power with that strength. Errol Spence is not going to be able to push Mikey around. Y'all don't understand. That's why I'm saying, again, for those people who don't know, Mikey, he's low profile, he's friendly, he's smiling. You know, he mild-mannered, sort of seemingly. You know, he looks small. So people thinking that Mikey, Mikey just gonna get run over by Spence because he even seems quiet-keeled and soft-spoken a bit. That's how Mikey seems. Very reserved, very disciplined, right? That motherfucker is trouble, man, and he's technical in the ring. Anyway, y'all will see. Y'all will see. For the proof is in the pudding. I don't need to talk about it. I don't need to talk no more. Talk is done. Y'all gonna see come fight night, and Errol Spence is gonna have to box Mikey. He's gonna have to box him. And we'll see who's the better boxer. We'll see who's the better boxer. But Errol Spence gonna get it. He gonna get the memo real quick. When he realizes he can't, okay, I can't stop this motherfucker. I gotta box him. He gonna realize that real quick. And he ain't gonna try it. Because the problem with Errol still does not move his head enough. Since the beginning, and his trainer, I think it's Derek, I forgot what his surname is. He always say Errol can block up, right? And Errol does keep kind of off center, and he does come down interesting lines. Like I was watching with Ocampo, how Ocampo would go down the wrong line, trying to throw their straight right, and Errol would be just pivot out the way. Errol can pivot very well and stuff. So he got things going for it. But his head, the motherfucker don't move his head. All right. And y'all saw what happened with Mansoor versus that African guy, Agaba, whatever his name is. Well, Mikey is going to hone in on Errol Spencer's head and make it a pinata if Errol does not move his fucking head. All right? And Mikey's not worried about Errol's jab. Not worried about the jab. That's a stiff jab and all that. Mikey might get caught with it once or twice. It's not going to be a factor in this fucking fight. That's what I'm trying to explain to you guys. All right? The only way a jab works, remember, a jab is a straight punch. It's not a hook. It's a fucking straight punch. I'll be cursing so much though. It's a straight punch. So there's advantages to it and there are disadvantages to it. Even if you stay well balanced and you throw a jab, you just open up your body for all kinds of stuff. The guy can slip your jab and counter over it. The guy can counter under it and hit you to the body. And what I was trying to explain to people is the more I'm gonna demonstrate. I'm gonna show you. This is me. Hopefully you're seeing the side of my body here, right? This side, right? I'm about to throw a jab, right? If I'm just touch jabbing, my extensor muscle here has just stretched. All right, can you see me? I hope you can see me here. So my extensor muscle, the muscle, watch. So you see this motherfucker is stretched now, all right? So the more force I throw a fucking jab with, is the more these muscles will tighten up. They're called extensors, right? So think about this shit now. Think about this shit. If I get caught with a punch underneath here, it's gonna hurt like motherfucking hell. Right? And just depending on how well placed that jab is in that area, right? Depending on how well placed that punch is in that area, I could be going down writhing in pain. And it's not so much about how hard I hit that area because the muscles will spasm out. It's about how well I place the fucking punch on the muscle group. That's why Cotto didn't have to be this great killer. He just had to play. It's how you place it. See, boxing is not about fucking power all the time. It's about timing and fucking placement. So if you're a surgical boxer, that's why Bevo could be beating the shit out of Joe Smith Jr. because it wasn't so much about how hard he could hit. It was about how he timed the punch. Because my opponent, when he throws a punch, he's going to throw it with a certain amount of force. All I have to do is hit him in a place he's not expecting. If I throw a three-punch combination, I'm relaxed. The more relaxed I am, that's a fault that I have with Canelo. Canelo, he's short and stocky, and he looked like he's just trying to rip the guy's head out. If Canelo would be a little bit more relaxed with his punches, he'd actually get more pop and power out of his punches. But because he's so fucking amped up sometimes with shots, I'm trying to force the issue. I'm trying to get him to go so fast. He actually kills some of his power. The more relaxed you are in anything is the more you get better shots off. You watch Floyd, very relaxed. When he throws a shot, a body shot, and rip a body shot, and Floyd is really good with them body shots. Boy, he rips some really impressive body shots. I just wish he had thrown more because he could have gotten opponents out of there a lot sooner. But anyway, you see him, he go, whoo, right? He don't, when he hits you with the body shot, it was like with Tenshin Nasukawa. When he hit Tenshin Nasukawa with that body shot, it knocked him flat down, all right? 154 pounds versus 120-something pounds. Motherfucker could have murdered him, okay? That's why they threw in the towel. They were like, fuck this. They threw in the towel. It was like, he could have murdered that kid, right? He'd have murdered him, right? Because Floyd hits hard. A lot of people don't know this. Yes, his hands are not great, but to the body, you're not going to break knuckles to the body. Body's soft. Hit you to the fucking liver, mash up your liver. You know what I'm saying? Floyd is not what you think he is. But again, a lot of people don't understand intelligent boxing. I'm not gonna tee off 100% on your head. Your head has a skull in it. It's hard. It's bone. I'm gonna hit in bone all the time. Fuck that. I'm gonna hit you in your body. I'm gonna go to your abs. I'm gonna rip up your liver. I'm gonna destroy your spleen. You know, I'm gonna do that. So again, a lot of people they don't understand boxing, and it's cool, right? So like I was saying, Spence puts too much sometimes force into his shots, and the problem with Spence is when he throws the hook, for example, he throws the hook, it exposes the whole side of his body, and he don't roll it completely. So if I was to hit him with a punch, unlike Canelo, Canelo rolls the punch. So even when he's throwing a punch, he's actually rolling with it as well to take some steam off of anything that you counter him with. But Errol Spence don't do that. So if I catch it, that's why Ocampo caught him with a shot, and Errol Spence backed the fuck off immediately, right? So what I'm trying to say is Errol Spence tried to put too much mustard on his shots. Sometimes you have to just tap into the body, tap into the body. You get actually better results if you tap the guy to the body instead of trying to rip it to the body. Not every shot need to be a rip shot. And these are the subtleties in boxing. You got to first set up the guy, tap him to the body, tap, tap, touch him, touch him, touch him, tap him. And sometimes those touches and taps actually knock the person down because he wasn't trying to put everything on it. Canelo has a problem with that too. He tried to put everything on a punch. Fuck that. Just let it organically happen sometimes. Those punches actually have more effect than if you were to just try to rip it. So that's the problem with Errol. That's how I know he don't really have, as much as he's talking about experience and all of that, I think Errol don't quite understand certain things. I was talking to you guys about feinting a lot. Errol does do some feints, but again, this is boxing. Mikey does feintings in a fluent manner, in a kind of Mexican style. And that's the difference between Mikey. That's why he said, I do things a little bit better than Errol. He's talking about the polish, the refinement of stuff, because he's been at this championship level so long, fighting bigger guys so long. He had to do it that way. And it's these fucking subtleties that people, if you don't understand this stuff in boxing, what you going? What can I do? What can I do? All right. A lot of people don't know shit about boxing. So, this sort of stuff I'm telling you guys, I'm shocked though that Coach Eric Bradley, who I esteem so very highly, believes that Errol's going to stop Mikey or Mikey's going to lose and get really dominated or whatever. Maybe that's so, but I just don't see it. I personally don't see it because of what I see in Mikey and what I see that RGBA gym do. I just don't see that happening. I remember Marcos Maidana faced Floyd Mayweather and he was like beating the shit there down the stretch. Floyd was getting dominated. I could see something like that with Errol Spence versus Mikey, where Mikey starts off, doing certain things technically to have a one-up on Errol Spence. And maybe later down the road when Mikey's fading a bit, Errol Spence is getting the upper hand. And maybe because of that, Errol Spence keeps the momentum and can win the fight by split decision or by unanimous decision. I can see that happening, right? Because he also has a lot of attributes that he can work on and do things with. However, because of just the way and the skill and the level and the experience and the technical ability of Mikey Garcia, I do not see Errol Spence stopping him. I do not see Errol Spence being able to do the things, the insignia things that he usually does. I see Mikey taking away certain things from Errol Spence. Errol Spence now had to make adjustments and try and find another way to win. And I think Mikey's going to push him to do that, so that he may win, but it's going to be because he outboxed Mikey, right? Or at least with his given ability, strengths, and stuff, he was able to use those things to overcome what Mikey was doing to him. I could see that happen. But as to say that Errol Spence is going in there and murking Mikey, I just don't see that happening. I know Mikey's physically shorter than him in reach and in height, but that don't mean shit in boxing. I don't care if Errol Spence can use his height and reach very well. There are things Errol Spence does that allows Mikey to get to him. It's just what it is. And he's not going to change it now. If he hadn't done it in camp, that's why people were asking, have you been sparring some people who are smaller than you? And Derek, again, did not get the point. You need to deal with guys that are smaller than you as well. You have to spar those guys because you need to deal with, and you don't have to go all out on those guys and hurt them. But you need to deal with the fact that a guy who's smaller than you can do certain things, which if you're just sparring bigger guys than you, guess what? You're going to have a problem, right? You're going to have a problem. So that's why they asked, right? Anyways, we'll see. We'll see. I'm telling you, man, sparring somebody shorter than you. And Floyd knew, he understood that with Manny Pacquiao. And Manny Pacquiao ain't Mikey Garcia. All right? Manny Pacquiao is not Mikey Garcia. All right? So, and Floyd he paid attention, and he still got caught by Manny Pacquiao. He paid attention. He still got caught twice in the fight. So Errol Spence, I hope he knows what he's doing. If you're just sparring guys bigger than you, and you're not sparring faster guys than you and smaller than you, you're going to find yourself in some problems, bro. I hope you did. So anyway, that's what I had to say. And I hope that you guys have a good one, man. It was great talking with you guys. Spread the word, man. We're gonna be popping every day. We're gonna try and put up a video every day on boxing, something for you guys to think about. You know what I mean? But hey, don't forget Katie Taylor versus Rose Valente. That's a sleeper. You guys need to check that out. That's gonna be a good fight. That's gonna be a good ass fight. That's gonna be a great fight. I want to see that one. You know. That's a good one to go see on Saturday as well. So don't forget that. I'm propping up Katie Taylor, but they're a bunch of women fighters who could also box. I hope it's not a scrap, because you know Katie was doing okay. I hope she doesn't scrap it out. Instead, she would box Rose Valente. We'll see. Whatever. Because I was not impressed with certain fighters in the women's boxing. So I'm saying. All right, guys, that's it for me. If you got any other comments or questions, man, or anything else you think I missed, let me know. Let me know right now before I sign out with you guys. All right. So do a little music in the background, man. That's my keyboard right there. I got another keyboard. I got mixed in stuff with my nephew wanted to do raps and stuff. So I pulled out everything and started back over again. So I've been in this room locked up, you know, doing certain things. I also can do some video editing. I should do some of that too and get back to that. But we'll see everything in this timing, right? Everything is time. All right, guys. Peace. Deuces to you guys. If you got any other comments, let me know. If not, I'm out. What you guys got to say? Anything else? That's about it. All right, man. But peace to you guys. I'm out of here. I got another video to do though. Another video for you guys. So watch out for it. It's coming very soon. Have a good one.